Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection. And chance to take a breath. I hope everybody had that amazing day yesterday, all that other wonderful stuff. Tell you what, looking outside, it just really kind of hit me how fast it's gotten pitch black out there. So we've been watching a lot of, you ever heard of Arctic Noir or Swedish Noir? Basically, it's really, really good detective stuff, but it's Swedish or Arctic, Icelandic. But the thing is that I can't even imagine having days where there's no sun. Man, I need the little bit of hope, at least there's some sun, but got my little sun lamp, so life is complete. But if you get a chance to watch some of that, whatever you want to call it, we watched George Scott, and then we watched The Bridge. The Bridge was so good. I would suggest The Bridge if you can find it. The Swedish version of The Bridge. They did an American version. Swedish version. So anyway, how are we doing this morning? We're breathing. Got our feet on the ground. Got our butt doing the kitty dance. Got our shoulders relaxed. Neck relaxed. I'm done rambling. Now I'm just going to focus on breathing and listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. So, and preparing for tonight where I'm probably going to do a ton of reading. I've been talking about it this week, but it's an event, and last year the lines just were there was a non-stop line for the entire 4+ hours. So I really love doing that. So my mindset's also there, getting prepared for tonight. But we are focused on this moment, this minute. Kitty dance in Hagerstown. So Jam Music 5. You sound familiar. But welcome. And I'm done rambling, Jam Music 5. I'm now going to do that focus thing. The Bridge was good. The River's Fat. I don't know if that's the name of the show or just a character. Scandinavians do crime so well. Yes. Yeah, it was called Bron. B-R-O-N. But yes, I love Scandinavian noir. Oh! Well, hi, Jenny. Hello, Jenny. So, I am going to now do our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe, each one a different thought or idea. And if you believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this stack will lead down one path, this stack down a different path, and this one's a totally different conversation. And it is Friday. So this morning, let's take the bottom stack, or what I like to think of as things that are underneath and we don't even realize it. And I am going to do our 3 and 1. And Jenny, when you go to the top in YouTube, you have different user profiles kind of thing. So you probably selected a different user profile this morning. But I can get behind Jam Music 5, knowing that we're both musicians. So the first card, flipping each one over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And it's a perfect way to start a Friday, and go into the weekend. But it's also based on the other cards here. But with the Page of Cups, and with the cups being our spirituality, our emotions and feelings. And pages are when we are open to learning. And again, court cards could be somebody else, could be us, or just part of a situation. But this is kind of how I go into each event, for example. You know, I feel that magic, like they're looking inside that cup right there. Like there's something magical or special. And it's funny because Pamela Coleman Smith in the popular Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, she turned that scarf into a fish to emphasize just how, you know, that youthful approach to things, seeing things different, being open to new things. But let's see what the next card is. It's the Five of Cups. So again, cups being our spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. Well, fives are always challenges. It's as if we could be sitting there and three of our cups have spilled. And they've emptied, the water's everywhere. And we focus so much on that loss that we don't realize we still have two cups behind us. But what we're trying to do is it's from 1 to 10 in the numerology for tarot, and with 5 being at the middle, if that's a hill, it's, you know, sometimes life is just a bit of a struggle, and we are like, you know, I just don't feel like dealing with this. And so we focus on those negative things, those things that, you know, when we say, yeah, but it happened to me. So sometimes when we are the Page of Cups, we're not paying attention to things, and then all of a sudden we're kind of caught off guard. But let's see what the next card is. And it's to the Six of Swords. So when I talked about that hill, that Five of Cups. So today is one of those focuses on a recovery, spiritual recovery, getting over that hill of those things maybe that have been causing us some anxiety. Because when we have the Six of Swords, sixes are what? Sixes are about harmony, improvement. It's about making it over that hill. Swords are our thoughts, our ideas, and our anxieties. Sometimes our anxieties, I should say. But with the Six of Swords, imagine this is a boat, because sixes are such a positive number. And that even looks like a boat where finally we're getting ourselves a mental break and just allowing ourselves to cruise down a river. It's about recognizing how we feel, you know, those things that we're thinking, because they are thoughts and ideas, and then kind of letting them wash over and through us. So it's with something like this. It's one of those things where I like to remind people that the minor cards, the numbered cards like this, the court cards, are our day-to-day cards. And this is a welcome to a Friday. It's the majors that are the destiny cards. But this is just one of those things where we could be reading something on the newspaper or on the internet, or just having that feeling where we just don't really feel, you know, mentally, you know, we're just not happy. Free-floating anxiety. Whatever it is that might trigger us. It's just one of those things where sometimes it's like we think we're doing so well, and then all of a sudden it's like, I just, something happens. But let's see what the advice card is. It's another 5 of Wands. So this is a spread of recognition. So here we have cups, here we have swords, here we have wands. With the cups, this is about our emotions, and sometimes we get caught off guard. Things are going so well. Sometimes when that happens, what do? And I talk about this often, that's why we take a breath in the morning. We, instead of turning our backs on what's right in front of us, and this guy's got his back directly turned to the 5 of Cups. So maybe even getting caught off guard, maybe reading the wrong thing. But sometimes then, with the 5 of Wands, wands are our fire, our energy, our passions, their action. And again, 5s are challenges. Sometimes we react to our feelings. We externalize how we're feeling. So we have this internal feeling, and then we externalize it. We feel this way, so we argue with somebody. We feel this way, and we're just sometimes waiting for somebody to try and cut us off in the line at the grocery store so that we can be angry. Just, or as a friend of mine would say, justifiable anger. We have a right to be angry. But this is the advice card to remind us that it's like, if we're feeling, if we're feeling, then we have multiple ways to handle it. Now this morning, since we're talking about, how about just we take a breath, recognize how we're feeling in our meditation. So how am I feeling? Well, I've got the event tonight, so that makes me a little bit stressed. I still get stage fright after all these years. Heck, I've played a musical instrument since I was in elementary school, and the joy of playing a musical instrument is knowing I'm going to get stage fright even though I'm in my 60s. Because it's that excitement. But with this, recognizing how we feel, so I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I'm not recognizing anything right now that might trigger me, but all it will take is just one conference call at work, and I might be triggered. So, today, recognizing how we feel before we find out how we feel, because we lash out and have to say we're sorry. Or we do something we regret. Again, it's not a big thing. These are all just minor cards and it's minor stress, but this is about taking the opportunity this morning to just float down the river and feel what we need to feel, but recognizing where we are. So today, just recognize how we feel and see what we can do about maybe letting it go. Again, those things where we can't control people, places, and things. And then just try and float down the river. I might have to drive the car. Hate driving. That's because every butthole out there is waiting for you to get in the car so that they can pull in front of you. Stage fright equals energy to embrace. Tell me that's not true. I love that. Now I'll just take a little side trip. When I was doing theater and I was teaching people, I was the musical director for a Shakespeare company. There would be times where there would be people who have master's degrees in theater, and it's like, talk about somebody like me who has imposter syndrome, because I do not have a degree or anything like that in theater. So I would be teaching these people how to sing. But the main thing that I would tell them from all my years of experience is that, if you hit a note and it's wrong, if you get lost, if anything happens, but I tell you what, when you hit that note and the note is sour and it's wrong, I want that to be the proudest note that you ever hit. I want you to hit it. I want you to smile. I want you to make sure that people know that you're enjoying yourself. You know? So today, if you hit a wrong note, if somebody pulls out in front of you or you pull out in front of somebody, you know, smile, wave, you know, be proud of be proud of it. Because we had so much fun on the stage, and when somebody would make a mistake, instead of that angered and we stare at somebody, we would be backstage laughing. Because that's the goal in life, is that we're going to be that Six of Swords. And we're just going to take it in stride. And it's like, you know what? Can't wait to get back out on the stage again. So with that, thank you again. Take care. And I will see everybody on Monday.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the card.